Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of episode 3 of Swamp Thing. This is called He Speaks. Okay, this was a good episode. A lot of things happened, a lot of forward progress in this episode. So I'm just going to go over a few of the highlights of this episode. Last episode, we saw Jason Woodrow introduced to the show. He was a scientist that came down on behalf of, of Mr. Sutherland. Uh, Avery Sutherland, the rich guy who's invested all this money into this supposedly this thing that's going to increase the value of the swamp and stuff. So he came down and he was the one that actually came up with this serum that's supposed to increase, it's supposed to mutate and grow further and stuff. So he came down. So we find out from him because he's actually doing an autopsy on one of the dead bodies of one of the dead men that got infected. Okay, and he's explaining. He meets Abby Arcane, and he's explaining how this thing is. He believes in nature triumphing over man. Basically, he says basically I think he says to Abby, it's nature one, man zero. So he's all about the formula and stuff. But we also find out later about his wife because he shared his findings with his wife, Caroline, and then we find out that she's slowly losing her mind. I guess she has some kind of form of Alzheimer's. Okay, and she's worried about that maybe she won't remember him. And he's, you can tell that they're really in love because he said that, that's never going to happen. And he's going to find a cure for her before that happens. So we see another layer to him besides just being a driven scientist. And also we get to see Alec in the beginning of the episode. Swamp Thing has he has sort of a dream that it was a man that he killed that actually murdered one of the deputies last episode that Swamp Thing basically killed. We see Alec. He's like Swamp Thing is having a dream that he's Alec still, and he's wandering through the swamp, barefoot, and the man that he killed comes upon him and says, "What are you doing here? You don't belong here." And he said, "You don't," and he's having trouble remembering, Alex having trouble remembering why exactly he's out there. And the guy basically pushes him down and goes, you don't remember, huh? You murdered me. Okay, and then we have, Swamp Thing actually wake up from this nightmare thing and basically yells out a growl. Okay, so we're seeing that he's remembering that he's Alec, still Swamp Thing, but he's not remembering things. He's still confused. Okay, and of course we find out from Abby that she's talking to her friend Liz, who's the reporter, and she's telling her what she, when they went out there and how the little girl Susie Coyle told her that this humanoid creature that she ran into says he's Alec, and she's not wondering how this is even possible that it could be Alec. Okay, because everybody assumed he got his boat blew up and he got killed, but this girl is telling him that this creature is Alec. Okay, so she's not. But before she gets a chance to investigate that, her partner that she brought down there from the CDC, Harlan, he gets sick. He kills over, and he's infected. And we find out he's infected as well. So he's added to the patient list. Okay, and we also find out because Abby's reporter friend Liz she kind of corners a reporter, not a reporter, excuse me, a banker, and she's saying, "Listen, I know you're doing funny things with money, giving loans, outstanding loans and stuff to Avery Sutherland. Okay, you're gonna have to talk to me." He kind of he basically blows her off and runs away from her. But she yells at him, "You're gonna have to talk to me eventually." Okay, so we see and then we see him actually, this banker goes to to Avery's house, Sutherland's house, and he actually tells him, "Listen." He pulls him away from his wife. He's trying to comfort his wife. He pulls him away. So listen, the banker's gonna ask me if I don't replace that money I gave you. If you don't replace that money, we're gonna get into trouble. And he says, you basically tells Avery, you got 24 hours to pay me back that money I gave you illegally. Okay, and you can tell Avery's not happy with that. And later we find this Avery actually goes to this reporter's house, not reporter, excuse me. I keep saying reporter. This banker's house, basically murders him in a tub. Okay, basically murders. So we know that Avery Sutherland, of course, we already knew he was crooked, but now we know he's a murderer. Okay, and I suspect he's the one that actually shot Alec as well. We never saw the guy's face that shot Alec, but we kind of suspect that that's probably Avery did that as well, which kind of makes sense. Anyway, Abby goes out to the, she still wants to get into, especially now she really wants to get into Alex, his lab that the police wouldn't let her get access to, and Avery wouldn't let her have access to it. So she says, you know what, screw this. My friend is sick now. This infection is reaching crisis state. So I'm gonna go and break into Alex's house and go through his research. And she does that. And later we also see somebody's hunting in the forest in the swamp. I guess he's hunting boar or whatever. And when he comes upon this mysterious creature, and we find that this creature is the guy that Swamp Thing killed last episode. He's back together, but he's basically made up of insects. And you see him infect this hunter and kill him. Okay, and then we see, of course, Abby. She's breaking into Alex's house, and she's doing his looking through his research. And then we start to see all these insects coming into the house and basically running, rummaging. And then we see that creature, that killed the hunter, come into the house, and he's getting ready to kill Alec, not Alec, getting ready to kill Abby, when Swamp Thing crashes through the window and basically warns him off, and then he basically tells the creature, I guess he's talking to the insects. He tells them, let him rest. I think that's what he told him. He said, let him rest. And then you see all the insects that make up this creature that he killed, this man that he killed. They basically disintegrate and they fade away. Okay, and then we see Abby, she actually talks to Swamp Thing. She actually has a conversation with him, and he actually reaches out and touches her, and then she imagines that it's Alec touching her. So now she really knows that this really is Alec, and she's telling him about the sickness and stuff, and he said nature's not fighting, it's fighting back. He said it's fighting back, and that keys something in her head so now she knows how to treat the people that got infected. So she goes back to the hospital, and she gives them a different medicine, different injections, and that seems to stabilize them and bring their fevers down and stuff. And she decides to give that to all the patients. And then she visits the little girl again, Susie Coyle, and she tells him, again, that Alex, he's just confused about who he is and stuff. Okay, and then it kind of goes off that way, and I'm looking forward to it, because this show is getting really good. Again, I don't know why they canceled this. Hopefully this show gets picked up by somebody else, because this show's getting good. So the third episode in, and things are happening, and now we know Swamp Thing can actually talk, and Abby knows that this is Swamp Thing. Oh yeah, this is one other thing I forgot. At the end, the deputy, the sheriff Matt, Abby's old friend, we know he has a crush on him because they're mentioning it. They mention his mother, who's the sheriff. She mentions it, okay, and he doesn't deny it, okay. And even in this episode, towards the end, where they're in the bar getting a drink, and he basically asks her, he asks her to dance, and he's dancing with her, and then we see Swamp Thing outside. He's looking in at her, okay, and then you see her kind of pause, and she can sort of sense that he's out there, and you can tell that, and she can sort of sense that he's out there. So they have this connection. So that makes it, again, a really interesting show. Okay, really good. And also, I forgot, there's one other thing I forgot to mention. Jennifer Beals, who plays she's the sheriff and the mother of Matt Cable, the guy that has the crush on Abby. She goes to visit Avery, and we find out that they have a history, because he basically tries to kiss her. Okay, and she kind of blows him off and leaves. And then later we find out from the mother, his wife, Maria, she's seeing her daughter. She has a vision of her daughter, who's basically telling her, why Dad is, the only reason he's really interested in you, all right? And kind of hinting around that he only wants money. He's only with you for your family's money. Okay, and then later, when he tries to go to her to to try to ask for money after the banker leaves, was threatening him to repay the money, and she says, "No, I'm cutting you off. No more of my family's money." So things are getting interesting and heating up in this. So I'm looking forward to more interaction between Swamp Thing and Abby, okay, and to find out exactly, and Jason Woodrow, the guy who's the scientist that he brought down there, and see if if he finds a cure for his wife too. His wife is saying, "Oh yeah, I keep saying one more thing. There is one more thing. There's a the voodoo priestess woman that the madam, I forgot what they call her name, madam something. She's having some kind of vision. we get the guy from 90210. What's his name? The guy from Sharknado. I forgot what his name is. He's there. He's like the faded actor who's just basically basically stuck in that town, and he asks Madam whatever her name is, the local voodoo priestess. He asked her, can you see a vision of me so I can get out of this town? He's basically you get the impression that he's basically stuck in this town and he can't leave. And she tells him, yeah, I do see, and I guess apparently she's been giving him these readings all the time. And she says, you see anything different now? He said, yeah, I see this third card means things are going to change, and it's because Abby Arcane is there. Okay, which is, so things are getting interesting. So we don't know what exactly why he's stuck in this town. They don't really spell it out. It's Ian Ziering. That's his name, Ian Ziering. He plays, he's the washed-up actor that's down there, that's running that hotel. And so now there's another secret. He has a secret, but they're not, they don't tell you exactly what the secret is. But now we know that there's some kind of secret or some kind of reason he's stuck down there. Okay, and now they're saying because Abby came down there, things have changed, and now maybe he has hope of leaving. Okay, so things are getting very interesting in this show, and again, I love it. Anyway, let me know what you think of episode 3, He Speaks. What do you think of it? I'll leave a link to my social media in the description box, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I also have a link to my other channel, Paul's Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.